Betts up there as a wide out too. The ball goes into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Hold the phone. Everybody comes running down on the field. You got to get off because there's a penalty flag thrown, and I think it's against Miami. Yep. Trenzo sneaking touchdown. It is 4th down, the final play, unless they can stick it in the end zone. And Dorsey under pressure throws it incomplete. The Buckeyes win. And now the party begins for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and they are the national champions of college football.
That was the 2002 Fiesta Bowl. This matchup was being called the Ineligi-Bowl. NCAA violations levied upon Ohio State and Miami, stealing at least a bit of the spotlight from a matchup between two of the nation's most storied football programs. Both the Bucks and Canes in a serious state of flux, dealing with not only the loss of key players, but also the transition to first-year head coaches. Luke Fickell's first ever road test as the top man for the Bucks. Not an easy one, taking on the Hurricanes. Opening drive for Miami. Lamar Miller starting what would be a huge night. 54 yards down to the Ohio State 9. Miller, 26 carries when all was said and done for a $184. Later in the drive, 3rd and goal. It's Ja'Cory Harris to Allen Hurns. 3-yard hookup, and the Canes are on the board early. 7-0. Joe Bauserman goes 3 and out on his first 2 drives at quarterback, so Fickell inserts the freshman Braxton Miller. Play action's good. The tip, not so much. Joe Nicholas, the pick. First turnover for the Buckeyes. Back to Bauserman we go in the second quarter with the Buckeyes down 14-0. Bauserman buying a little bit of time by rolling right and finding Verlon Reed. Reed, however, cannot find the football directly in the hands. Can't put that one on the QB, but you can put these numbers on the quarterbacks. 4 of 17 for 35 yards. Jake Stoneburner, normally sure-handed in the end zone, dropping one from Bauserman, perhaps a bit behind. Down 17-6 at the half are the Bucks. To the third quarter, back to Bauserman in the shotgun. Hurricane defense bringing that pressure and bringing down Bauserman. A loss of 7 on the play. Perhaps we do need a little bit more mobility back there. So, Braxton Miller back in the game. Looking for the handoff to Jamal Berry. Instead, puts it on the turf. Loss of 4 on the play. In the third quarter, Ohio State gains 6 yards on 12 plays. Thankful to start the fourth quarter. Braxton Miller back in. Miller's going to take off and do what he does best. Run. Carrying the football, though, like a loaf of bread, and it gets knocked out from behind. Hurricanes recover. The walk of shame for Ohio State fans in attendance as the Buckeyes fall 24-6, truth be told, in a game that was never really that close. The loss is Ohio State's first to an unranked team outside the Big Ten in nearly a quarter century. Luke Fickell joining John Cooper, Jim Tressel, and losing his first career road game as the Buckeye headman. And now, fellas, some big questions facing Ohio State, especially at the quarterback position.
Well, that is for sure. I mean, when you complete 4 passes in a game, when none of those completions go to a wide receiver, you have some issues. Tony, you played quarterback in the NFL. You know a little bit about the position. Tell us what's going on here with the Buckeyes.
To say the least, I have had some bad games, but this was as ugly as you can get when it comes to quarterback play. Joe Bauserman should be ashamed of himself. Now, this ball, was it catchable? Yes. Could this have got him going? Maybe. But that ball's coming out almost end over end. A fifth-year senior should be able to deliver accurate balls better. He didn't give his guys a chance. His defense was on the field all day. And lofting the ball late down the middle of the field, bad things are going to happen most times. I'll give the young kid Miller a pass because he was playing high school football last year, Howard. Right. So I'll give him a pass. Maybe he's got a chance to improve. But a fifth-year senior to play like that, to me, is inexcusable.
Anytime you go on the road and you're playing a team like Miami that has the speed and the history and tradition, you have to be able to bring your defense. And the Ohio State defense didn't show up today. When you talk about not being able to stop the run, they didn't have a lot of success there today. Giving up big plays, almost 240 yards on the ground, that's tough to do. It's tough for you to get off the field. You look at third down conversions, 9 of 15, but it all starts in the trenches, and they weren't physical enough at the point of attack, which allowed this Miami offensive line to really have their way with them tonight.
Well, you know they have the athletes, but to me they took terrible angles. They weren't taking proper angles in order to have guys cut back into their help. You know how it is. It's team defense. You got to play team defense today. They did not do that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's been a long time since a Miami running back, or since a running back from any school has made Ohio State's defense look that bad. Lamar Miller went for 184 yards. You have to go all the way back to 1999. Eric McCoo of Penn State went for 211 against the Buckeyes. But this was one of those days where truly nothing went right for Ohio State.